Open of 2018. This magnificent new stadium built specifically for the Olympic Games in 2 years' time. In fact, we came back past some building work of some other venues, but of course this venue is complete and it's magnificent too. So after an upset in the men's doubles there, with the World Championships silver medalists being beaten by the pair promoted from the reserves, we turn our attention now to PUSARLA Sindhu, who herself was beaten in the World Championship final up against GAO Fangjie of China. In fact, PUSARLA Sindhu beaten in the final of the last 2 World Championships. And this is the last of the second round matches in the top half of the draw to be completed for the quarter-final lineup. You can see former world champion and former champion here, Nozomi Okuhara, won the Japan Open in an all-Japanese final of 2015 when she beat Akane Yamaguchi in the final. And if you were with us earlier, of course, that huge upset with the former champion Tai Tzu-Ying, 2-time finalist, beaten by Chen Xiaoxin. And the left-handed Ohori, she's safely through. So, as I was saying, just this match to decide the last of the 4 contestants, the quarter-final stage in the top half of the draw. So, Steve, while we wait for the players to emerge onto courts, you were calling that match with Tai Tzu-Ying, the 2-time finalist, the winner of 2012 Japan Open. Was she just off form today, or what was your take on it?
Yeah, it was that she didn't have exactly the same hunger as her opponent today, Chen Xiaoxin. She made it difficult for Tai. She got one more shot, often got one more shot back than Tai felt comfortable with, and that created some mistakes, and eventually the player who wanted it most ended up winning.
Yeah. Well, here come the players for our next match. PUSARLA Sindhu, the megastar in her home country of India. In fact, she's a megastar all over the world. In fact, she was creating headlines worldwide when the recent Forbes list of the highest female earners in women's sport was published, and she's number 7 on the list. More earning capacity last year than the world number 1 tennis player, Simona Halep, which I think raised a few eyebrows across the world of sport. And well done to Sindhu for not only having such an image and commanding such sponsorship revenue, but also putting badminton on the map as far as female athletes are concerned, up with the Serena Williams of this, the top money earner. So this is just the second meeting between the two. First time they met was in the quarterfinal of the China Premier Super Series last year, when GAO Fangjie, as a qualifier, went all the way through to the final, where she lost to Yamaguchi in the final, incidentally. So for this lady, GAO Fangjie will turn 20 later this month, making her first appearance here at the Japan Open. Her opponents, PUSARLA Sindhu, 23 years of age, and she's making her 5th appearance here. Didn't play a couple of years ago. She was the number 5 seed, but withdrew from the tournament. And this is her 4th appearance in the second round, but she's never progressed past the second round of the Japan Open. I'm sure that's a statistic that she will want to rewrite this year. So her first round match was against the left-hander, Sayaka Takahashi. Went to 3 games there, dropped the second game very easily, but came through in 7 minutes shy of the hour mark, 21-13 in the deciding game. And And so to her opponent, as I say, not even out of her teenage years yet. Enjoying her 8th consecutive week at a career high of 14. Was at the Asian Games, selected as 3rd women's singles player. So got an Asian Games women's team silver medal without, I believe, actually hitting a shuttle. But in the first round, she played against a player who was promoted from the reserves.
Ready to play.
Vaishnavi Reddy-Jaka, 16-year-old from India, hugely talented. But was outclassed yesterday by GAO Fangjie. Chin Ching-Koo of Chinese Taipei. He's our umpire, and Stephen Ong from Malaysia, the service judge. So as we wait for PUSARLA to get herself onto court and get ready for the start of the match, no women's singles player has ever won a title here. In fact, no player from India has won a women's singles, won a title here. There's only been one finalist across all 5 disciplines, as far as Indian players are concerned, at the Japan Open steam. Do you know that?
Ooh.
This is for our cup of tea.
Yeah. Prakash.
I owe you a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Well done. Prakash Padukone. 35 years ago, at the very 2nd official Japan Open. I'll buy you 2 cups of tea if you can tell me who he lost to in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, GAO Fangjie, China. And on my left, PUSARLA Sindhu, India. Sindhu to serve. Level. Play.
So the umpire calls for play to start. The number 3 seed, the 2-time World Championship silver medalist, the Olympic silver medalist, PUSARLA Venkata Sindhu. Far side of the court as we look down against GAO Fangjie. Really burst onto the world stage last year at the China Open as a qualifier. It wasn't just that she beat her opponent of today in the quarter-final. In the semi-final, she beat the now world champion and reigning Olympic champion Carolina Marin. So a sensational tournament in China last year for GAO Fangjie. Oh, that's a super angle. Super.
Coach. Service over.
What was happening there? Something said to the coach. Oh, crikey, we're not going to have another US Open incident, are we? We're allowed coaching, but not during the rally. In between rallies, we're allowed coaching in badminton.
I think it was the men's singles coach, Chen Yu, stopping by this man here, Louis Gang, the women's singles coach, and saying something to him, which is perfectly okay, but you just have to take a seat on the vacant chair.
Oh, wow. Did she twist her ankle, or was she just left stranded?
Yeah.
3,
It's
1.
going to be interesting to see.
Need to see that again. Here we go.
Reverse.
Oh, yes, it just, the ankle just went. Goodness me, I didn't like that. Oh, dear. She's already got both ankles heavily strapped.
Yeah, if you are susceptible to ankle injuries in badminton, then once you've done it once, then you have to play with strapping on basically for the rest of your career. I know there's so many recovering devices that you should use and use a lot, and that's very fine, but badminton is so big a workload, so big a strain on the ankles that it doesn't work. You have to play with strapping on.
5-1.
This is not the start that Sindhu wanted, but it's a dream start for this lady. She's the third-ranked player on the women's singles world ranking from China, GAO Fangjie. Desperately disappointing that the player who's former champion 2 years ago, and beaten finalist last year, Jiao, had to withdraw. She was the number 7 seed here this year, had to withdraw before the start of play due to a shoulder injury which she picked up in Jakarta at the Asian Games.
Yeah, she actually picked it up in the final of the women's team championship against Otsumi Okuhara. Lost both women's doubles China and second women's singles. She also lost later in the individual event. She played the match, but she was clearly unable to apply full power to her smashes and clears Jiao.
Landed in.
But definitely progression with the Chinese women's singles, in my opinion. We've seen Chen Yufei. She's been a little bit shaky at some of the team events, but she has a high level. We saw Chen Xiaoxin today beat Tai Su-ying. GAO Fangjie obviously has a high level, and Jiao, the one who beat Tai Su-ying at the World Championships, the one who took Marin to 3 games. So I think they're in a healthy state.
8,
the 4 Chinese women's singles players. We also have Chai Yan in this tournament.
Yeah.
Still, so
to play against Yamaguchi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Power and placement,
Yeah.
a lethal combination.
Service over. 3-8.
What I'm liking about these Chinese players that you've just been talking about, those 3, is that it's their racket skills and their deception that I think has gone up a level now.
Yeah. Yeah, their deceptions and their stature, and I mean, they've sort of realized we can't wear people out. We've got to be able to play well, and I think they're well underway. Young bunch of players coming up. There's a good chance for GAO Fangjie here in this match, judging from the initial rallies.
4.
Well, we knew that GAO Fangjie was in good form. She reached the final of her last individual tournament that she played, the Singapore Open. Well, she lost to Sayaka Takahashi in the final. But the same can be said for PUSARLA, the fact that she was in the final of the Asian Games, but a can't help but wonder, Steen, you know,
it counts the other way.
Well, yes, and the amount that she's played.
Yeah.
Because she also played the Commonwealth Games.
Yes.
So
that's one of the things. PV Sindhu here. She's the most consistent player. The last 5 majors she's played, she's been in the final. Unfortunately for her, she's lost all 5 of them. But Olympic Games 16. Here's a challenge. Olympic Games 16, World Championships 17, Commonwealth Games 18, World Championships 18, and Asian Games 18. Amazing consistency.
Yeah. Well, she's been in the final of her last 3 tournaments as well. That was called in.
But yeah, GAO Fangjie, she didn't get to play the individual tournaments in the Asian Games. There's only 2 players allowed, and that was her Bing Zhao and Chen Yufei. So she's perhaps had a little bit more of a break, and I think we have a situation just like the first match today where one player is a little bit more hungry than the other.
Well, not to harper on about losing in finals, but in fact, the last 7 finals that PV Sindhu has reached, she's lost them all.
Yeah.
So apart from those 5 majors that you mentioned.
2 other finals as well.
Yeah.
Against the other 2 finals, who's that against?
She was defending champion in India earlier this year. She had...
Against Zhang Beiwen?
Zhang Beiwen, she had match point opportunities there. And of course the Super Series final.
Against Thai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Service over. Seven, 10.
Yeah, there's always different ways of looking at it, but she should look around at all the other players and think that, hey, most of them would happily trade places with me.
Absolutely.
For 5 finals. Of course, a lot of wise guys who says, oh, is it a problem that she's lost 5 finals? Of course there's a problem. When you lose, it's always a problem.
That's nice. Yeah. But there's an old saying, isn't there, that the saying that you don't win silver, you lose gold. And whoever said that has never won silver.
No, exactly, exactly.
Because silver medals, most of the tournament would love to have it. If you offer a silver medal at the start of the tournament, they grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's seeing them in as a whole. He lost 5 finals, yes, but there was actually only 1. Okay, now here's the interval.
11.
Yes, it's the 3-point advantage for GAO Fangjie. Luo Yigang, ready to impart his advice.
往前技术搓球可以说没有，对不对？只有一个反拍勾球，那你多抓推球，懂了没有？往前放给他嘛，他拿以后你再推给他，他也打你不死，啊！重要的就是注意一个多拍。现在就是谁顶得住谁赢球啊！你自己进攻一定要打出来，可以先压完高球，他可以。
Court 1, 10. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Well, considering she was 6 points adrift at one stage, PV Sindhu, only 3 points adrift isn't too bad.
No, and that's one of her key competences, in my opinion. She's really hard to beat.
Play.
serve.
Service over 9-11. Ten, 11. Come on, Jay.
Going back to the prize money thing, Steen, I mean, it's sort of inconceivable from my era of playing badminton that you can earn 163,000 US dollars a week, 8.5 million a year.
That's
But
nice.
the interesting thing is that it was calculated with 500,000 earned by PV Sindhu in prize money. I don't think she earned that in prize money.
No.
But 8 million in endorsements. And Simona Halep, the #1 tennis player, only got 1.5 million in endorsements, but 6.2 million in
prize money.
In prize money.
Yeah.
So it's almost a complete opposite.
Yeah.
The amount they win in tennis in prize money, whereas PUSARLA Venkata Sindhu is earning that in endorsements. Complete opposite way around.
13,
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, and I heard the tennis players, they were a little bit complaining about the prize money. They felt that not enough of the revenue was distributed to back to the players.
That's
So
incredible, isn't it?
they might be right. I don't know that. That's perfectly possible. But,
Service over 11-13.
Yeah, I think GAO Fangjie is feeling under a little more pressure now because
Yeah.
more is coming back from Sindhu. She feels she's got to hit the lines more, and in trying to do so, she's making 1 or 2 errors.
great retrieval.
Yeah. And this is a prime example
Yeah.
in that rally.
Yeah.
Against most players, she would have won the rally 2 or 3
Twice.
times.
Yeah.
Back it
12.
comes from PUSARLA.
13.
But the thing is, you tweak a little on the patience button and play a little bit more patient so that you are willing to make 4 shots extra per rally, and then after winning 4 rallies that way, then your opponent sort of hits the panic mode.
Yeah.
13. Oh.
It's on back level.
But there's no doubt that this is a tournament where the lower ranked players, they have a great opportunity of getting a good result against a higher ranked player that has played both World Championships and the Asian Games.
Yeah.
They came so close to each other, and then this tournament came so close after the Asian Games, so there will be players that have not really recovered either physically or mentally after Asian Games and World Championships.
Yeah, good point.
Service over 14. Oh.
Sometimes it's good to have very long arms like Sindhu, but sometimes it's a little bit of disadvantage when you want to go on the attack. It takes a little bit longer to move the racket.
Play. over. 15, 14.
I think GAO Fangjie needs to win this first game if she's to win the whole match. You could very well see PV Sindhu powering her way through the second if she can win this first game after being that much behind.
Big point. And look at the whole body language of GAO Fangjie.
15.
And there's been a couple of those rallies lately where she's sort of bailed out on the last shot.
Play.
Oh, what a turnaround. Eleven of the last 15 points.
17, 14. Service over.
What she was doing so well early in the match.
17.
GAO Fangjie. Almost half smashes and just acute angles, going for placement. Yeah.
Control. Good shot.
Yeah. There'd have been a miss-hit on the defensive shot from Sindhu. The shuttle was short, but it was still very well played from this lady.
Thank you.
It's rare, isn't it, Stephen, that Chinese players come to the fore when they haven't really done anything in junior badminton. They haven't been one of the world's top junior players, but suddenly this lady bursts onto the world stage. And that's unusual. They usually come through that system. Asian Junior Championships, World Junior Championships.
They're normally identified quite early.
Yeah.
I think they've had to look a little bit more thoroughly since the retirement of Wang Xishan and Wang Yihan and the injury to Li Churui. We should not forget her. I guess she's still playing. We haven't seen her lately, but won a couple of tournaments on the BWF Super Tour earlier this year. But there was a while when she was injured and the two other former top players, they were out. So I think they had to look deeper.
Interesting. And maybe also look at what was happening in world badminton with Tai Su Ying, Carolina Marin, the skills of Ratchanuk, and maybe said to themselves, we can't just have the players that are physically fit and quick. It's got to have something more than that now.
Yeah.
Well, this is crucial, isn't it? 18 all. Oh, great shot from PUSARLA.
Wow, that second last shot, she doesn't kill that, she just blocks it. It's hard to see from our position because, yeah, that was a good chance, but not killing chances like this is something that she needs to work on to win those finals instead of securing the silver. She gave GAO Fangjie a chance that she didn't really deserve on that one.
So now it's the Chinese youngster back into the lead. And the error from Sindhu means that it's 2 game point opportunities for GAO Fangjie.
And how will a loss in the first game after a comeback and the lead, how will that affect Sindhu psychologically?
A block into the net from PV Sindhu, and the opening game 21-18 to the teenager GAO Fangjie of China. My goodness me, what a strange opening game as far as scoring patterns were concerned. Early lead for GAO, and then PV Sindhu catching back up. Now that's very telling to me. Sitting on the bench there at the interval. Rarely do you see badminton players sit down. 24 minutes for that opening game. మళ్ళీ ఒక డ్రాప్ చేసిన తర్వాత అది పెట్టగానే మళ్ళీ లిఫ్ట్ ఎందుకు అప్పుడు క్రాస్ ఆడు అది నీకు స్ట్రైట్ అన్నప్పుడు నువ్వు క్రాస్ ఆడు అది కష్టపడి కింద క్రాస్ అవుతే మళ్ళీ నువ్వు దాన్ని మళ్ళీ క్రాస్ Really is a magnificent arena, isn't it? Musashino Forest Sports Plaza.
Code 1, 20 seconds. Code 1.
Yeah, apparently holds 10,000 spectators, and there's one thing that surprises me a little bit about it is that it's quite a long arena. There's 5 courts can easily fit in here. Even 6 courts could easily fit in here. So for the Olympics, where normally there's only 3 courts active, it's going to be a huge arena for just 3 courts.
So as the players get ready for this second game, GAO Fangjie, 1 game to the good.
Play.
The umpire calls them to get underway. And just coming back to your point there, Steen, I appreciate that. It is a big arena, but one of the things the IOC is very hot on nowadays is legacy. And to have a beautiful arena like this that can be used for many different sports, could be an indoor tennis arena, basketball, there's lots of things this could be used for. So whilst it's going to be used for badminton during the Olympics, and it will seem very spacious, but I'm sure that they will bank some of the extra seats at either end of the arena. I think it's a wonderful arena for sporting events and maybe entertainment events in the future.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I just feel that we need somewhere in the world. We need a badminton, a really badminton arena. We've got it in Istora Senayan in Indonesia, but here was a chance with a new built stadium to sort of go high behind the courts and get intimacy.
Overdone it.
It's a good start for Sindhu.
It is. Oh, challenge here.
Challenge. Court out.
I don't think she'll win that challenge. I saw that and I'm looking almost straight down the line. But we are very high up in the arena, aren't we? So we're a long way away. But I instinctively thought that was just wide. But we'll bow to Hawkeye's.
It was out.
It was out. Yeah. There we are.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. For love.
We're still doing all right on the line calls, you and me, Steen.
Well, you're still doing all right. You haven't been here all day. I've been wrong on so many.
Oh dear.
So just got a mail from my optician. He wants to see me when I'm back home. It's not good.
Yeah. Well worked.
Fight love.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the first round singles because they were played on Tuesday, and I'm just wondering whether PV Sindhu really does find quite a difference in the ends. It depends sometimes on players' style of play, whether they're... Oh, service fault called.
Service over. 1-5.
Whether she's somehow doesn't like it, like one end of the stadium, because in her second game of her first round match against Sayaka Takahashi,
That was 7 or something like
7.
that.
She lost to 7.
Yeah.
Too high. Too high.
I'm not sure I've ever seen Sindhu faulted on serve before. Or if I have, I certainly can't remember it. That's a nice shot. Oh, well taken. Saw the quality of her own net shot. GAO Fangjie
5.
knew the likely response, or probably the only response, was back to the net, and she was ready to pounce. Look at that. It was the first one that did the damage.
Other side. The other side. Okay, thank you. Play.
Just long.
Service over. 6-2.
So she's serving backhand now. She was faulted on the forehand serve, wasn't she?
I thought it was the backhand also.
Was it the backhand?
I'm not sure.
Service
I
over.
can't imagine it
3,
was on the forehand serve.
6.
Oh, that's well taken. That's what you want to see more of when
Yes.
she's coming forward, be more decisive.
Yeah, being able to convert, higher converting rate. We don't have
7.
that many statistics
3.
in badminton, but like in golf, for instance, they have how many, what is your percentage of putts made from 2 meters or less, from 5 meters or less, and stuff like that. So it's really easy to see where you need to improve. In my opinion, the play from the front court is one of the areas where Sindhu needs to improve.
4, 7.
And it's sort of pays double in badminton, because not only do you win a point extra yourself, you also prevent your opponent from scoring a point. So it's very little progression can give big results.
Five, 7.
Oh, she changed her mind there.
6, 7.
Well, from her body language, she's struggling, fighting mentally. PV Sindhu, I think she's in the one rally at a time mode.
Every time I think Sindhu has just got herself nudging in front and got in control in the opening game when she was leading 17-14 and in 6-2 up here after a 5-love lead.
Sort of,
It's evaporated.
yeah.
7, 0. Eight, 7.
This is extraordinary, isn't it? 6 straight points.
Yeah, yeah, but it's
9,
like
7.
when that shot here goes into the net, it's like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's how I interpret the body language of PV Sindhu. Of course, it went into the net. Seems like the self-talk.
Ten, 7.
7 straight points. What on earth is going on? Oh, nice backhand. Yeah, helped by the neck cords.
11,
GAO Fangjie
interval.
are on a run of 8 straight points. 3-7 down to 11-7 up at the mid-game interval. And this is very, very concerning times if you're a PUSARLA Venkata Sindhu fan.
他发力我不发力，对不对？啊，加油，连贯啊！注意一定要连贯。
Hold 1, 20 seconds. Hold 1, 20 seconds.
What on earth do you say to Sindhu in a situation like this, Steve? What would you say?
That is a fantastic, difficult question to answer. I mean,
Sorry if
I think basically I wouldn't say a whole lot because I think she's mentally spent.
Yeah.
And if she survives here, we have the same problem in the next match. If she survives that, then we just push it on to the next tournament. So at some point, in my opinion, there is a price to pay when you play many tournaments.
Yeah.
Service over. 8-11.
Well, she stopped the run, finally.
Service over. 12-8.
Gone wide.
Sindhu challenge. Hold. Out.
I said I've been wrong on a number, but this one I'm pretty certain of.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 13-8. Play.
Good shot.
Service over. 9-13.
Quick reconnection there by Sindhu.
Gorgeous little guided shot from GAO Fangjie.
Service over.
And again,
14,
of course she hit the net.
9.
Of course she hit the net and it tumbled over. So the way I interpret the body language, that's the mode Sindhu's in right now. And I mean, we can't really blame her because she's played so many tournaments and so many big championships this year, and some tournaments they are more draining than others. Played women's doubles also at the Asian Games team event with Ashwini Ponnappa.
15-9.
She did in the Uber Cup, I think, or, well, the Asian Women's Team Championships.
Yeah. Which basically made no sense, and then eventually sending a depleted team for the
Uber Cup.
Uber Cup Women's World Team Championships.
Service over. 10-15.
Oh, yes, yeah. That will maybe lift the spirits.
11-15.
I have a feeling that this is where I wouldn't mind the umpire calling the players up and saying, hey, ladies, we need to speed this up a little bit. There's an awful lot of downtime in between the rallies, the way I see it.
Yeah.
That's the new strategy after the World Championship final against Marin. You can't see it in the picture here, but PV Sindhu just pushed the shuttle below the tape, so it was definitely on GAO Fangjie's part of the court, because that gives her a little bit extra time. If you watch the women's singles final of the World Championship, you would have noticed that Marin was racing to the service position to speed things up.
Just right.
Service over.
Well, one senses it's now or never as far as PUSARLA is concerned. It's not only physical tiredness, I think
it's
also,
mental.
and we were talking about the number of finals that PV Sindhu has been in. When you lose a final, emotionally you're spent, because you're that close, that close to the gold medal, which is what you've dreamed of, what you've worked towards, everything you've wanted. And to pick yourself up again after that disappointment mentally is so tough. And as you've pointed out, there's no time.
And also, when you win and you go back home, you only say thank you, thank you, thanks, thank you. When you lose, you've got to sort of relate to all kinds of questions. Why didn't you win this match? Why didn't you? Why haven't you won any of the 4 previous finals? There will be self-doubt, and there will be review of the training regime and stuff like that. Everything is, in my opinion, extremely draining.
Yeah.
And at one point, there's a price to pay.
Yeah.
It depends. It's different from player to player when it is and how long it is. But I think that, for instance, we've seen Lindan when he's won, then he's taken half a year off, more or less. I don't think it's necessarily such a bad thing, looking from his perspective, instead of just getting on with the circuit again, playing tournament after tournament after tournament. Because, I mean, what is it that Sindhu is looking forward to right now?
Yeah.
World Championships 2019 in Basel. That's in 1 year's time or something like that.
Yeah.
And she's not really finished
14,
neither the World
17.
Championship this year or Asian Games this year. She's not through, in my opinion, processing those events.
Yeah.
She can't be.
And there's a difference between recovering emotionally and recovering mentally.
Yeah.
We talk about mental toughness in sports so often, but what we don't often address is the emotional fatigue and the emotional difficulties when you've lost in a final to then come back. Of course she wants to win. Of course she wants to win this match.
Yeah.
But there is nothing emotionally left, it looks to me. She will have to tell us. But it looks to me, I concur with you totally, Steen. It's desperately difficult, and as we've watched over the last couple of days, earlier today and yesterday, some of these matches, there's been a lot of players who I think are emotionally drained.
And it's also players that have won and players that have made good results. So it's not only because you've lost the final.
No,
it's just the build-up, and we saw. Carolina Marin, she said it after the Olympics. What should I do? What should my goals be? Because I'd already achieved all of them.
15, 18.
And it takes time to really set those new goals and believe in those new goals.
And sometimes you need to fall down a little bit, like Marin had done. Only won 2 tournaments since the Olympics up until the World Championships. To sort of feel how it is to be between number 6 and 10, to sort of get the urge back to become number 1.
Yeah.
Say, no, I want to be there again. I want to feel that way again.
Yeah.
And what I think is impressive is that she's staying reasonably close to GAO Fangjie. It would be so easy just to give in and say, okay, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. But that's not PV Sindhu. She's
then you never get to where she is if you feel like that.
Yeah. But the body language after that rally where she's just swished her racket in frustration.
15.
Watch this. Yeah. There's nothing offensive about it, but it tells us how she's struggling mentally. Yeah. Well,
of course, all the players want to do well here. It's the Olympic arena. They know that in 2 years' time, it's dead serious here. And everybody will be at absolute top shape.
20.
Indeed they will. But right now, it very much looks as if GAO Fangjie is going to create another upset today. 5 match point opportunities for the Chinese teenager.
Service over. 16, 20.
Good shot.
Yeah, very good shot. Well, one thing you can say about the 2 superstars from India as far as women's singles is concerned, Saina Nehwal and PUSARLA Sindhu, 2 of the greatest fighters in the sport.
Don't write them off.
Don't write them off. Whatever the mental tiredness, the emotional tiredness, the physical tiredness, she will fight and fight and fight.
And that's also, it wins you games because, I mean, at some point your fight will be just enough.
Yes.
I don't think it will today, but on a little bit less playing strength from the opponent, it would have gotten her through.
It's landed in.
It's in.
Oh, it's a challenge here.
GAO Fangjie challenge. Caught in.
Well, she's wrong on this. She doesn't have any challenges left.
And I think she is. It was a get my head together challenge.
really inside of the line.
Challenge unsuccessful. No challenge remaining.
So 3 match points have been well saved.
20. Play.
There's still another 2 for GAO Fangjie. Good match shot. Brilliant.
It's also on the line. And no more challenges.
Wow.
19. 20.
4 match points well saved. That is perfection. Crikey, going for the line. Match point down.
It's a good
Twice.
thing. Good thing we didn't write her off, Jim.
Oh, I'd love to see a third. But it's not to be. 21-18, 21-19. The margin of the victory for GAO Fangjie. 54 minutes in duration. But despite the fighting spirit shown, as always, from PUSARLA Venkata Sindhu, she, to me, mentally and emotionally, looks a little spent
Match
right now.
won by GAO Fangjie. 21-18, 21-19.
So, in her 5th appearance here at the Japan Open and still yet to progress past a second round of PUSARLA. And that's not only because of her fatigue. We've got to give credit to GAO Fangjie, who played quite brilliantly today. Lovely racket skills. And the victory, 21-18, 21-19. And that, of course, means that she will meet Ayako